You know, when you eat spicy food, like, let it burn. It's got, when you just like start like, oh man, I gotta blow my nose, a definite kick from the habanero peppers. It's getting cold here in the valley. Time to heat things up a little bit. Like breathing fire. Today, I'm brewing a habanero amber lager. And brew day always starts with prep. So for me, most brew days, I actually start the night before. That way I can get my grains weighed out and crushed. I get my water salts ready. I even fill my kettle with water. That way, all I've got to do when I wake up is turn everything on and heat up my water. It saves me a ton of time and makes the start of my brew day way less stressful. And since I got everything ready last night, all I needed to do this morning was wake up, turn on my system, and wait for the water to heat up. It's at 130 degrees right now, so seems like a good time to add my water salts. I'm gonna be mashing this one kind of like a little step mash, 148 for 40 minutes, and then 158 for about another 15 minutes, and then I'll do a mash out at 168 degrees for about 10 minutes or so. Just because I want this beer to kind of dry out a little bit and it's a lager, so I kind of want it to feel like crisp, and I feel like that little bit of a step mash helps out with that process. I have my fermenter all clean and sanitized. I have my chiller all clean and sanitized. I have my hops all measured and weighed out. There it is. Let's pull the grains. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit there for a little bit and ramp up the temperature. It's gonna be at a boil in no time. My wort is up to a boil. I've just been adding my hops straight into the kettle since I have a whirlpool arm. Here we go. Start the timer. 10 minutes left in the boil. I got 28 grams. It's probably about an ounce of Hallertauer Mittelfruer. 10 minutes left in the boil. There it goes. And 2 minutes left, my last hop addition going in. Then it'll be time to chill down. So I've got the 20-gallon ClawHammer system, and the pump that comes with it, I think just because the kettle is a lot wider than a 10-gallon system, it's not really strong enough to get like a great whirlpool going. I think I need a slightly stronger pump. Let me show you. Not much of a whirlpool going on in there, unfortunately. All right, my beer is done fermenting. It's basically been done for the better part of a week here. I've got it out back there. I'm ready to transfer it to the keg, but now I need to get this tincture liquid. I need to get this into the keg. So the keg has been purged. It's sitting there full of CO2 right now. I don't really think there's a way. I mean, I could probably use a syringe and get it in there that way, but I'm just basically gonna, degas it, open it up, and pour my tincture in. I do need to strain this out first. So strain it out, and then just the vodka tincture is going inside of the keg, and then I'm gonna rack my beer right on top of that. It should stay relatively oxygen free. I'm not too worried about it since it's a lager and there's not a lot of hops in it, but let's get this thing strained out, let's get it into the keg, and let's get my beer on top of it, and then I'm gonna let it condition there. for maybe about a week while it carbonates, and then it'll be time to test it. So let's get this tincture in that keg. Everything seems to be going in the right direction, so I'll see you guys at the tasting. Hopefully this one comes out good. I'm really excited about this one. See you then, cheers. All right, I just spent pretty much all day sitting by the pool watching the boy play water polo, which was super fun. There's a football game on right now, but you know what? I want to spend some time with you guys tasting this Habanero Amber Lager. So I'm gonna go shoot over to the fridge, pour myself one, and I'll be right back in a flash. So as you can see, it's not super crystal clear. It is clearing up though. It's a lager. It's been in their conditioning for about a week, and I will tell you that I have tasted this once just to make sure that I had the habanero right, and I'm glad I only did one habanero because I think I got the habanero pepper right. I'm kind of actually hoping that it has mellowed out a little bit in the keg because it was kind of warm. So I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I might not finish this whole beer. But it smells like an amber lager to me. It's got a clean profile, little bit of sweetness from the malt, like from those the darker malts. It smells really good. It smells really pleasing. Smells like it's gonna be clean. All right, so without further ado, let's go in for a taste on this thing here. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. It's got a definite kick from the habanero pepper. That's kind of the main thing I was going for. I was pretty sure the base recipe was gonna be okay because I've kind of made a beer similar to this before and they usually come out fine. But yeah, it's got a little bit of kick. It actually does feel like it mellowed out. The first time I did this, I tasted it and my lips were burning. My lips are not burning this time. It is my mouth and throat and my insides feel it. Now I've had not a straight habanero pepper. I like to eat these habanero stuffed olives. So it's just got a little piece of habanero in there. And those are warmer. Those are hotter. This has like just that nice heat, which I don't know. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of like a gimmicky beer. But if you like spicy things, I could see how this works. It's not so overwhelmingly hot and spicy that I don't want to keep kind of drinking it, but there is like that vegetal hot burn in there. And it does kind of, I guess, take away from the flavor of the beer. I'm a traditional beer flavored beer type of guy. That flavor, it takes away from that beer flavored beer. So it is kind of a gimmick kind of thing. I am definitely going to can some of these up. I've told some people, hey, I'm making this, you want to try it? And they're like, yeah, sure. But I don't know if it's like, I'm going to have like one pint of this and I'm going to be like, that's, that's totally enough. It's probably more than enough. A half a pint would be fine. And for people like my wife who don't like spicy foods, like there is no way in heck I'm going to serve this to her because she's going to be complaining that her mouth is on fire, like breathing fire. And I don't want that. It takes away from kind of the experience of beer. I mean, beer to me should be pleasurable, and it's like, this is kind of a gimmicky thing. Totally kind of a gimmicky thing. One habanero pepper does do the trick. That is way more than enough. I could even see maybe dialing it back and just doing like a half a pepper. That way maybe you get a little bit more of the flavor. But as I'm talking here, I mean, what has it been? A minute, 2 minutes? I don't know. Like my mouth is still hot. It feels it. It's warm. It's not anything that's like uncomfortable. It's not going to make me go chug a bunch of milk or anything like that. But it is warm. It was a fun experiment. I'm glad that I did it. Would I do it again? Would I put a habanero in a beer again? Probably not. Probably not. Although there are some other styles. I've seen some like Mexican hot chocolate, like stouts, where you put a little bit of habanero in there to just kind of get that warming kick. As for this beer, I'm gonna probably drink a few pints and then I'm gonna wish that the habanero wasn't in there, because I can tell the base underlying beer is a good solid beer, and I feel like the habanero is just there for like effect. It's not necessarily like maybe adding anything positive to the beer, unless, of course, you're a habanero hot pepper fan. At any rate, it was a fun experiment. I'm glad I did it. I do know now that habanero is going to bring, I don't know if I get any flavor from the habanero. I'm just getting the heat with it, and then the flavor of the beer is in the background. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all the views and everything. Why don't you drop in the comments below, what's the craziest thing you've put in a beer? For me, it's a habanero pepper. Cheers. Catch you in the next one.